Hi, I'm Joe the Alternative Gamer, and here's my review for Sniper Elite 4. Let's get on into this. Alright, so I started playing this series like ages back in the college years where I was studying the books of history. And here I found Sniper Elite 2, where you go through Germany during World War II shooting the living shit out of every Nazi that you find. And guess what? It was quite awesome. But it did have a lot of issues. Levels were kind of tightly linear, not expansive like the later entries were in the series, but it had really cool X-ray effects when you were going in for those really nice and disgustingly awesome sniper kills. But a machine gun, I don't know why it was. Maybe it was just to deter not using the machine guns and favor the sniper rifles because it was a sniper game. I don't know. But when you had a machine gun, you had a guy he's right in front of you. He's right in front of you. You're pointing the machine gun at him and you unload 30 rounds and 4 of them hit the guy. There's just a tad bit of an issue with the machine gunning in the game. So then the third game came out and they were like, hey, remember that cool stuff that we made in that game? Well, guess what? We're gonna make it even better. And guess what they did? They made these huge, expansive levels that had side missions, all these cool things to do in it, many different ways to tackle the objectives. The shooting got a lot better, the stealth got a lot better. Everything started to get a lot better with the series, and I love that they were pushing in the right direction. Now, while Sniper Elite 3 really did improve on a lot of aspects that were in 2, and it was still a pretty good looking game and very well performing too, it still had that kind of clunky movement and clunky aiming when you were dealing with anything but the sniper rifle. Then, here comes Sniper Elite 4. Now this is what I was hoping. The titles before Sniper Elite 4 were all titles that weren't released at $60. I think the first Sniper Elite 2 was released at $40, and then the next one was released at $50, and this was going to be full-blown, full-budget, $60 game. And I'm like, okay, deep down, I'm like, these guys got this. They got this. They're pretty much there. They just gotta, they're right there. They're right there. And guess what? They nailed it. This is one of my favorite, I know it's February or March whenever I release this video, but this is one of my favorite games of this year, and it's already in the slot of Joe Awesome Games of the Year right now, because they knocked it out of the park with this game. And if you haven't checked out Sniper Elite 4, you gotta check it out. Now let's go through all the awesome in Sniper Elite 4. So the X-ray, slow-mo X-ray kills are back. Now if you haven't played a sniper game, basically what this is you fire off a round from your sniper rifle, you hit the guy, okay? And right when it's about to hit the guy, you follow the bullet from the gun, it's about to hit him, it goes super slow-mo, goes into X-ray, and then you see what organs you're gonna wreck in there. And it can be anything from bean bags to eyes to kidneys or his stomach. They even animate a little sandwich in there, see what he ate beforehand. Not really, but I think that would be really cool in the future. Hey, that's a free idea from me to you, because I love it. And what's awesome in this one, they add a little extra to it. So if you blow up, say, an explosive barrel and the shrapnel starts going flying everywhere, well, things get even more nasty. So it'll slow-mo on the explosion, and then the shrapnel goes flying, and you get to see all the bits hit the Nazi, and it's kind of disgusting. If you have someone walk into the room and you got the volume fully on, and you hear people are gonna be like, what? Wait, what is Billy playing? And we're going to need to hug him more because this is some disgusting stuff, but awesome because they'll be glued to the screen with that. And with takedowns now, so that you could do stealth takedowns before, but you can only take them from behind. You couldn't take them from the front. I don't know. Maybe he isn't a gentleman, doesn't want to fight him up front like this, but guess what? Now you can go running right up to the guy and you just hit him with your knife right in the neck, or my favorite move, you take the guy, you hit him in the gut, and then you knee him in the face. And sometimes they do X-ray kills with this. So I need one guy, one enemy right in the face, and his eyes both went, like I said, disgusting, but really satisfying. No, don't worry, my therapist already knows that I play this game and they approve, it's okay. Another little feature that this game has that I like is you can crouch run. So before in the games, you would crouch, but you would move at like a senior citizen's pace throughout the map. And you needed to go quicker, because otherwise it's just like, oh, I'll sneakily get through this area in like 5 days. But now you can just like, I mean, it doesn't do wonders for your character's back. So I'm sure he does like chiropractic in between missions, but you can like huff it while still being sneaky throughout the whole map. And I love this because it increases like what you can do now, and also the speed of the stealth, and that I really like. It's a nice evolution of it. It's a tiny thing, but makes a world of difference in the game. And like I was talking about with the previous entries, having those kind of clunky-ish controls with the machine guns and the pistols and even some of the stealth, that's pretty much gone. The machine guns are pretty close to perfect. Like, it's pretty close to shooting like shooting in Uncharted. It's really good shooting. The pistols are fun to shoot. I really love that stuff, and I got to give it to them that now, with the better controls, you have a lot of variability. And not just that, but you want to experiment everything because everything in the game works so well together. Whether you're sniping, you're being sneaky, you're going loud, you're using pistols, you're throwing rocks at people, you're hiding in the foliage. And for you people out there that don't know foliage like I did and gave it the old Google, that's really tall grass. And you can hide in it, even though your head's sticking out and your rifle's all the way up in the air. You can hide there and the enemies won't see you. But you can give them the old whistle and they'll come at you, and you can even do the woo-woo whistle, you know, like, hey, how you doing? And they'll come on over, and then you do the whole bring the head to the knee thing, and the eyes go flying, and it's great. Love it. Your binoculars in this game are like your best friend, including the rocks. Get to that in a second. But the binoculars are cool because you can tag the enemies, and then no matter what, if you don't have eyesight with them, you can see where they are on the map. So that's good for maintaining stealth. But also with it, is the game kind of gives you this nice Splinter Cell-esque indicator that says, hey, the enemy's about to see you, hey, the enemy sees you, hey, you're screwed. But what's nice is if you don't tag him with the binoculars, you can't see that indication. It'll give you an audio cue to be like, oh crap, I need to get down. But there's a really good advantage now to hitting them with a binocular tag, because now it's like, oh, I see you and now I know where you are. But if they are in line of sight with me, now I can kind of gauge whether if I can run past this area and they won't see me, or maybe I shouldn't. And I like that stuff. It's really good. Adds to the strategery of the game. Yeah, look up that word. Interesting. And like I said, rocks. If you saw my Sniper Elite 3 video, God, I love the rocks in this. You can just keep throwing these things, and it's great. I don't know why he has an infinite supply of them, but they're great. I even tried pelting one guy with 30 rocks. You cannot kill an enemy with rocks. But if I'm wrong, and you're someone out there who sat there for like hours hitting someone with 100 rocks, and you were able to do it, why don't you let me know in the comments section below? I want to see that. Sniper Elite 4 takes a little from one of my favorite stealth franchise, Metal Gear Solid, except for 5. The little like question marks and exclamation points where like kind of show off if enemies are like, oh, I wonder what's over there, or ooh, I heard a boom, maybe I'll go and check it out. That's in the game, and they show above all enemy soldiers whether you make some noise, you blow something up, and they kind of get curious about it. I like those little touches that are in the game. It just kind of gives you these cool visual cues to be like, oh, I need to watch out. In the previous entries, you never got to use a silenced sniper rifle before. Now, it would pretty much break the game, but what I like what they did here is there's a limited supply of sniper rifle silenced ammo, and you can get it for your pistols. Before, you could only really use the silenced pistols, but some of them weren't the best. What's nice is here you can use most of the pistols, and if you find silenced ammo, you get a limited silencer for that pistol. Adds more changes, more variability, and the same thing goes with the sniper rifle stuff. It's really cool to pick off a guy, and then no one else hears it, and it doesn't break the game, but it encourages you to explore the map more because you may find more of that valuable sniper silent ammo. Love that addition. This game also has really good progression throughout the game. You have, now you have these very, they're limited, but they're cool skill trees where they give you these little passive buffs. I really like that stuff in the game. And each gun, including machine guns, pistols, sniper rifles, anything, horseshoes, no, I'm just joking, has challenges that you have to do to then upgrade the guns. And that's really awesome because they'll increase the range, the accuracy, or the damage. And I like having that stuff. It kind of gives you a reason to be like, well, maybe I'll try out this gun and see if with those upgrades, it actually fits more my play style than the gun that I'm using right now. And it encourages a lot of replay. And who doesn't love replay? I love replay. Now to the levels in the game. Like I said, Sniper Elite 3 had really big levels, yet they're even hugier in this game. They are massive. This game really reminds me of some of the old Hitman games, how big their levels were, and that factors into all the cool different ways you can play this game. And with that, you get 8 story missions to go through, and these are massive missions and varied, whether you're doing like something that's more in a beach type environment, a forest, a dock. You do different missions at night too, so they really change up the settings and give you a lot of variety in the levels. And then when you have a main objective in the level, but you also get these optional objectives, and these missions can take to an hour to maybe even 2 hours depending on play. And the whole campaign has wonderful Joe-op, and if you don't know what that is, I'm Joe and I love co-op, so I call it Joe-op, and it's great stuff. You can play the whole campaign in co-op online. Sadly, there's no split screen offline multiplayer. It's like one of my only gripes with the game. I wish it had split screen offline, but hey, there's always hopes for Sniper Elite 5 and they add it in, and I will be such a happy camper. In addition to the campaign stuff, you also get 2 Overwatch missions where one player is on the ground and he's kind of a foot soldier and he's a spotter, so he's got the binoculars, and you got one guy who's playing the sniper up top on a cliff trying to help you out with your objectives. So you get 2 of those. Those are a lot of fun. They take just as long as campaign missions. And you get a really cool survival mode, which really gives you this cool, like, surviving at the Alamo kind of feeling. And they upped it from 2 players in Sniper Elite 3 to now 4 players. I've played it a bunch. It's a lot of fun, very intense, and with all the improved mechanics in this game, you're going to want to keep coming back to that. Love that stuff. Especially when the tanks show up and you got to take them out. Start getting creative. There is competitive multiplayer in the game. I played it a little bit in Sniper Elite 3. I thought it was fun because nothing's better than getting a nutbag shot online to an opposing player, but I didn't get a chance to play this at all, and this is just a testament to the other modes of play in the game. There's so much variability, like I keep saying, and so much fun whether you're in single player or co-op with all like the single player missions and everything like that, that I can't stop playing it. So for me, multiplayer has always been seen as gravy in these kind of games. And well, who doesn't love gravy on a bed of beautiful mashed potatoes? And yes, I'm comparing this game to wonderful mashed potatoes, but who doesn't love mashed potatoes? And they gave you a lot of butter with it. A lot of butter. All right, food metaphors aside, this game also has improved music score. They went above and beyond what I even was requesting in Sniper Elite 4 from my Sniper Elite 3 video. The music gets appropriately epic, especially in the survival modes. I really love that stuff, where there's like 30 German soldiers coming up on you and you gotta take them all out. And then it's just getting really bombastic and fun, and they throw in the Hans Zimmers, and you're just all into it, and it's great stuff. This is gonna sound small, but it's a big thing to me that they added in this game that I have been wanting in this series for a long time, is shoulder swapping when aiming over your shoulder with the machine gun, pistols, or anything like that. It just allows for better aiming during certain situations. Like Sniper Elite is a very big game with like wide open spaces. So you don't really need to worry about shoulder swapping too much, but when you start getting into the tighter areas, you want that to be able to get an edge on the corners, you know, depending on which way you're going at it. Here, they finally added it, and I was just like, oh, it's in the game. And I love that it's in the game, don't get me wrong, but it's a little clunky how you do it. You have to actually open up your quick menu where you change items. So you hold L1 and then you hit triangle and it'll change which shoulder the camera's over. Now, what I think would have been a little bit better is if they wanted to keep that for when you're running around regularly and changing the camera for sneaking. That's fine if they want to use that, but I think it would have been better to just put that to like another button, put it to the touchpad or put into something so it's just like this quick movement, not I have to open up a menu and click a button. Or when I'm aiming down the gun for a pistol, it'd be awesome to just switch, like hit triangle. Like Uncharted has always done that. You want to switch which shoulder you're aiming over on the fly? Well, just hit triangle while you're aiming. I think something like that could be done in a patch to just make that control that much better. And my only other real gripe with the game is if you fall in water, you die. Like, you die. Like, I didn't know that he had, like, cement bricks tied to his boots that he's just gonna sink. Like, I fell one time, and it's not like there's like water there, you have to do stupid platforming sections or anything like that. And I'm really just making fun of this small nitpick in this game. But I do think it's kind of funny that the guy just falls down and he's dead. Like, he didn't get like swimming lessons in like commando school. Like, they just forgot that. Oh, no, that's it. No, never mind. Don't need it. But that's really it for that. In the next game, I'd love to see split screen in the game. I don't care if the visuals take a hit while you're playing in split screen. Like, it's like, oh, the game looks prettier in single player over split. That's fine. That's fine. Just allow those options. I love couch co-op. I grew up on it, and I want it back. And a little thing that I just got to make a nod to because it's kind of cool is the main character in the game. He's voiced by Sergeant Cortez, and yes, it's a video game character from Time Splitters, but it's just nice to see that guy working and continuing to work, and guess what? Time Splitters is coming back this year, so maybe Sergeant Cortez is really returning. Alright, with Sniper Elite 4, I just gotta say, it feels like an awesome combination of Hitman Blood Money level structure, Splinter Cell Convictions kind of stealth mechanics a bit, and Metal Gear Solid. It feels like all of these. Oh, and also one more, an awesome game from last gen, it feels like, is the Saboteur, especially with all your sabotaging of all the Nazi equipment and trucks and everything like that. It feels like all four of those games kind of came together, and like the guys who made Sniper Elite were like, all four of these games are really great. Well, we're going to take some of these concepts and we're going to make something out of it for our own, and people are going to love it. And guess what? I love it. Sniper Elite 4, if you love stealth games, you should try it out. If you love action games or shooters, anything like that, or World War II games, definitely try it out. I think it's one of the best games I've played so far this year. I can't recommend it enough. If you want, you can get the season pass. There's another mini campaign that they're going to be releasing throughout the year. If you pre-ordered it, you got a mission. You can kill Hitler. I mean, that's cool. Apparently, you can take him out with a casserole, according to the trophies. Now, I don't know if that means you take a casserole and you like beat him over the head with it or you poison it. But hey, I want to find out. Either way, I love this game. I think it's great. Go out and buy it. Check it out. And thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed this review, drop me a like. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. Join the fun. Check out more of my videos. And thank you very much for watching.